You clicked on this video because you want to get rich as heck, and I'm basically going to help you guys with that. Also, notice the new setup. I have a mic now. A lot of you guys were complaining about the echo in my apartment, so I fixed that. Also, to clarify, before you click off the video, this is going to be pure value, no editing. If you're looking for entertainment, go ahead and click off. Also, I don't have a $90 a month Discord community for you guys to join. No courses, no BS here. I hate these Miami guys as much as you do. So today, we're going to talk about how to get rich as quick as possible. Now, quick implies cheap. So I don't want to say quick, but I'm going to use the term efficient because that's kind of the best way to explain it. So in the pursuit of making money, how do you make money, right? You need to sell. So you have to sell something, whether that be a product or a service, you need to sell. And that's the fact. That's just the bottom line. You need to sell something. Now, whatever you sell is pretty much completely up to you. But the big thing, more important than selling something, is it needs to provide value. So whatever you're selling needs to provide value to who you're selling to, right? Now, I want to cover the 3 pillars of value. So let's do this right now. The 3 pillars, let me put an S here. The 3 pillars of value are 1, problem solving. 2, convenience, and 3, outcomes. Okay? So problem solving, convenience, and outcomes are the 3 pillars of providing value at the product or service that you're selling. Now, the truth is about selling pretty much anything. Nobody is going to, but people don't buy processes. People don't buy work. People buy outcomes. So I want you guys to remember that. With whatever you're selling, people buy outcomes. Nobody buys a process. If you are selling a fat loss pill or a weight loss program, you are going to sell their dream body, their dream result. You are going to sell the outcome or the result of them using whatever you're selling. So let's say you have an agency. You're not going to sell them, hey, yeah, you're going to have to be dumping a couple grand a month in ads on top of paying my agency in doing so. You're basically going to sell, hey, here's your problem. Here's the outcome. We can get you to the outcome. Just give us money. Does that make sense? As long as you're providing value, which is obviously the most important factor of making money. But 3 pillars of value are problem solving, convenience, and outcomes. So I want you guys to remember people are going to buy outcomes. Nobody buys processes. So like I said, if you're selling a fat loss pill, you're going to sell the result, the dream body, them with a 6-pack, the skinny version of themselves that they desire to become, right? Their desired situation, because obviously they're not in the situation that they want to be. Otherwise, they wouldn't be interested in your program. So you're essentially going to be selling an outcome. Now, no one is going to buy into eating the right foods every single day, going to the gym, doing the Stairmaster for 30 minutes, etc. So problem solving. What is problem solving? Okay, so I'm sure you guys have heard this term before, or this quote before, but pain is created when pain is alleviated, and pain is alleviated when problems are solved. So basically, effectively, any value you provide is simply by solving a problem. Now, of course, with whatever you're selling, if it solves a problem that somebody already has, then the marketing is already taken care of. We're going to cover marketing in a little bit. But problem solving, you need to solve problems. You were never, ever going to get very far in business or entrepreneurship if you were just selling something that doesn't provide value, that doesn't provide a clear result or outcome or solution. You need to be problem solving, and you need to be a problem solver. Okay? A good quote that I like to follow is, your income is capped in direct accordance to the complexity of problems that you can solve. So let me draw this out with a different color marker for you guys. So here is your problem solving capabilities. Okay. Now, the further you go down, the more money you're going to make. And the more money, basically the further you go down on this graph, the more knowledge you know. So what makes an expert or a college professor be more qualified to teach things is their expertise, their level of knowledge, right? So why are you going to be paid more than the average person? It's when you know and have the experience and the skills to provide value. So the more you go down on this graph, the more money you're going to make, but it's also in direct correlation with the amount of, the amount of knowledge that you have. Oh, I accidentally crossed it out instead of underlining. Okay, so that's his knowledge, if you guys can't see. So basically, you're going to make more money if you provide more value, and the way you provide more value is by simply becoming more skillful or knowledgeable on a certain factor. So that plays into problem solving. The better you know about the problem or the niche or the industry or whatever you're selling in, you are going to be able to solve the problem better, therefore creating value, therefore making more money. Does that make sense? Next thing I want to talk about is convenience. So people like outcomes. Okay, we talked about selling the dream. We talked about a desired result and a reality. How can you actually go and materialize that for whoever you're selling to, right? Convenience is a big thing. So why do convenience stores get to charge $5 for a pack of gum when if you were to buy it from a grocery store, which nobody does at the end of the day, you'd probably get it for $2 or $1.50, right? At the end of the day, it comes down to convenience. So if you can save somebody time, now obviously the richer you get, the more you value your time, so the more people pay to save time, hence private jets and brokerage companies and chartering yachts and stuff like that. But convenience, people like quick results. That's the name of the game. So the way that you're going to price whatever you're selling is simply on how good you are or how good it is at solving problems and how quick you can get said result. If you want, like I said, a fat loss program, hypothetically, let's say you went and spawned in some insane fat loss program that could get anybody their dream body within 4 months, you'd be able to charge 30 times more than everybody else who's going to take them a year. Right? Obviously, it depends on where the person starts at. Maybe they're 300 pounds, maybe they're 200 pounds. That's a 100-pound difference. It's going to obviously be a big discrepancy there. But at the end of the day, you can charge how much value you provide. And obviously, the 3 pillars of value is convenience. So the quicker and the more convenient it is to get the result, the more you're going to be able to charge. Does that make sense? And how quick you can get the result for your clients or whatever you're going to be selling, right? So me personally, if you guys don't know what I do D2C e-commerce brands, and I also have a program on the side. Not selling, it's very niched. It's not meant for everybody. We get a lot of people applying. We accept like 1 in 15, I think it might have been for the past 2 weeks. So essentially, the more knowledgeable you are, the quicker you can get the result because your depth of understanding is higher. Does that make sense? Next thing is outcomes. So if you're not providing a outcome, actually you can sell the outcome, but just because you're selling the outcome doesn't mean that you can actually get the outcome. So this plays into the knowledge, right? Everything comes down to knowledge. You're only paid based on your knowledge. I'm able to make these videos and these whiteboard videos because I do so much research on everything. Obviously, I run 2 businesses, make 7 figures a year. I know a lot. I can sit here and just yap and on a whiteboard and give you guys advice because I know what I'm talking about. Does that make sense? So your outcomes and how quick and how good you're going to get these outcomes is in direct correlation with your knowledge in specific facets, right? So hypothetically, for example, with us, right? Basically, we have a program. Now, obviously, like I said, don't buy it. You don't have to do anything. I'm not selling you. I'm just simply giving you guys a direct analogy, okay? So we provide value. So we've had people come in and within 4 months, they're making $100,000 a month. We've had people come in and within 4 months, they're making 60 grand a month. They're making 30 grand in 2 weeks. So that's basically because we're able to charge what we charge because we provide value when we solve problems, basically, which is I don't have money, I want to make money. Second thing is convenience. We basically give people the outcome in a quick amount of time, and we're able to do that because I have so much knowledge on what I'm talking about. And then number 3, the outcome is there. It's actually tangible and it's there, right? It's the 4-minute mile analogy. If somebody's done it prior, somebody can do it again. So we're obviously constantly iterating, improving everything that we have inside so we can obviously in turn provide more value, in turn charge more money. But effectively, we solve problems in a convenient and efficient way. I don't want to say quick because like I said, quick implies cheap, but in a convenient way, and we have a tangible outcome. Not to mention, we have things like a guarantee and a money back guarantee. We've had a 0% dispute rate, so obviously that helps us a lot. But at the end of the day, we're able to sell what we sell because we provide value. We're able to charge as much because I have so much knowledge in the things that I'm talking about, and I'm able to solve problems in a convenient manner, saving time, and I'm actually able to deliver an outcome, right? Next thing I want to talk about is traffic, okay? Traffic. So essentially, what is traffic, right? If you want to sell something, you have to get people to obviously understand you're selling something, right? So traffic is going to be making content. You could do 2 routes of traffic, okay? Content is going to be needed regardless, but with 2 routes, you can do organic, which is, I'm going to get to that, and then ads. So if you guys know what ads are, you probably know what organic is. Ads is paying for advertisements on platforms, right? Like Meta, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Snapchat, whatever it may be. And then organic is just creating content on those said platforms, right? So that's gonna be me making this video right now, me making TikToks. Now, if you guys don't know what I do, in my e-com business, I don't do any ads. So obviously, I do a little bit of ads. I pay influencers, we do campaigns, but that's another story. But with organic, essentially what we do is we've eliminated all ad costs by making content, right? And even example from my program, I don't have to pay for ads to get people inside because I make content, obviously providing value. People see that I have value, they join, they get results, then they're happy, and then boom, done, everyone's happy at the end of the day, right? So organic. Essentially, what I do is I basically make content, obviously D2C e-commerce brand. We make content, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, Snapchat Spotlight, whatever you want to do, and you basically drive traffic to the website. You are never going to sell anything without traffic. And that's the biggest thing that I've realized in the past couple months is people really underestimate how much traffic you need. I was really talking to somebody last night and they have an insane business, but they're 3 people and they are essentially putting the output out of 1 person. If you think about that, right? Like me by myself, I am posting one of these videos every 3 days and I'm doing 2 Instagram reels a day. And I'm putting in a shit ton. I'm taking so many calls. I'm a busy guy. I got a lot of stuff to do every single day. So I'm leveraging my time to the best of my ability. But these guys are 3 business partners and they're putting the output of that of 1 person. And I was like, you guys, you realize you're 3 people. Your output is that of equivalent to me, if not lower. You need to fix that. So it's all really just a traffic thing at the end of the day. If you want to sell something, you need traffic. I'm going to be honest with you guys, you're never going to make money in today's economy if you are not using social media or traffic to your benefit. So no matter how you want to go, the traditional way of making money is over. You clicked on this video because you want to make money online, don't you? Get good at social media. Get good at Instagram. Get good at YouTube. Provide people value. Okay, now obviously you have an intention behind every video you're going to post, but you need to get good at what you're doing. You need to get traffic to whatever you're selling, right? If you ran a Super Bowl ad to you selling a bag full of dog poop, you'd probably make at least $100,000 because there's 100 million people watching the Super Bowl. So it's just the sheer amount of traffic. Does that make sense? Next thing I want to talk about is the 2-week work paradox. So what is the 2-week work paradox? Essentially what the 2-week work paradox is the results you're getting today or the results you're going to get is the result of work that you put in 2 weeks ago. So a big kind of cycle that I see a lot of entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs go into is they work hard. Oh, that's a W, okay. So they work hard, then 2 weeks later, I'm just gonna write 2 weeks, boom. 2 weeks later, they get money, right? And then once they get money, they slack off. So let's just say slack off. They slack off. Now, once they slack off, they still get money, but then they attribute this making money to slacking off because they make money. So if this kind of makes sense, they basically work super hard for 2 weeks. The results of the work that they put in 2 weeks ago makes them money. Then they slack off because they get comfortable. Then they're continuing to slack off and continuing to make money based off of this work that they put in for 2 weeks. And then they make no money and then they go back to work again. So and this is the biggest kind of mental change that has taken my biz. Like I'm making more money than I ever have in my entire life right now, but I don't need to sit here and show you guys like, here's my apartment view, here's my sick cars, here's the insane life that I live, here's my watch that's sitting on the desk over here. I don't need to show you guys all that because I'm providing value, but at the end of the day, I'm basically setting up, and this mental change has made me so much money, I'm setting up my next 2 weeks or my next month, okay? So you have to essentially, whenever you're doing inputs in your business, right? Because that could be with anything. That could be with, setting up ads, setting up traffic, hiring teams, whatever. If you guys believe it or not, with my program, I have a team of 1. No, that's unheard of. Nobody has that. I got one dude that's helping me out. So pretty lean. But you need to view business like a 2 weeks at a time scenario, if that makes sense. So I've said this before and people resonate with it a lot. So business is kind of like driving a car at night. You're not going to be able to see, so you can only see so far ahead of you, right? You can only see, let's say, 20 feet? You can only see 20 feet in front of you, but most of you guys are focused on what's going on 2 miles ahead. So at the end of the day, let's say you're driving a car at night, Your headlights, which is just the realistic time frame on which you can view things and make decisions, because the truth about business is that you need information to make decisions, and information is data. So you have to go do inputs, right? For example, if you're running ads, if you're running 3 ad sets, you don't have enough data to make a educated decision. If you've only spent $20 on ads, you don't know what you need to do because you've only spent $20, versus if you spent $4,000, you'd have a lot more data, therefore you can make a better decision. The man who can make the better decisions is the man who has access to the most data. So this is you, and you're driving a car at night. Now, your headlights, which is just like the time frame on which you can realistically make decisions in, is around 20 feet, let's just say 2 weeks, a week or 2 weeks, right? Most of you guys are focused on 2 miles ahead of you, which is 3 months, 6 months. You guys have 5-year plans. You guys have 4-year plans, 1-year plan. What are you going to be doing in 1 year? You guys understand that even me at my level, I make a really good amount of money. I've been scaling like crazy, and I'm very happy. I've noticed insane progression in my knowledge and my business and my mindset and the way I view things. But I'm not thinking about what's happening in a year. I'm literally focused on day-to-day actionables. I'm focused on a week from now. Does that make sense? And that's at my level. That's at 7 figures, $1 million+ a year. So the biggest problem that I see with people is that they focus on what's going on up here, and they're trying to set up some long-term plan. I remember I was talking to a guy way back in the day when I was obviously starting out, and he was telling me that he wants to start a clothing brand. And I was like, okay, sick. I support you. You're my boy. I'll support you as much as I can. And he wanted to start a clothing brand, but it took him 6 months. 6 months later, I talked to him. He's like, yeah, bro, I just got the LLC. I'm like, what? It took you 6 months to get an LLC? Are you serious? Most of you guys are focused on the legal side of things, but you're not focused on getting money. I didn't get an LLC until I passed 10K a month. Don't tell the IRS. But you guys are focused on what's going on up here, but you're not focused on what's going on in this actual, like you can only really make decisions in this 20-foot radius. Does that make sense? If you're focused on what's going on up here and you're driving at nighttime, you're gonna wrap yourself around a fucking tree because you're focused on a turn that's coming up, that there's a turn here and a turn here, but you're focused on this turn, you're gonna miss these two and you're gonna fuck up. You're gonna crash. So to conclude this entire video, if you wanna get rich online, pretty much, you need 1, value. You need to provide value. 2, you need to sell something, like whether it be a physical product, which is what I do, a digital product, a service, it doesn't matter. You need to provide value and sell something. 3, you need to deliver an outcome. Okay, understand the 3 pillars of value. All right, it's problem solving, convenience, and outcomes. You need to sell the outcome, but actually deliver the outcome in a convenient time. Then you need traffic. Okay, understand those 4 things, and you will make so much fucking money. Okay, break it down to first principles of business. First principles is basically just breaking things down to the most fundamental truths. So it's basically like, okay, I need to sell something. How do I get people to buy it? I need traffic. How do I get traffic? I post videos. Solved. So that's how you get rich online in 2025. That's the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Watch my other videos. They're super valuable. If you want to work one-on-one with me, click the first link in the description, or not, I don't care. Have an absolute blessed day. Peace.